Hi guys.
How is everybody?
I hope you guys are doing good.
Yes. So thank you guys for tuning in again. We have some more news.
Yay.
Next steps in regard to our conversation and what we've been discussing with our IVF journey. So last time we spoke with you all, we had gone to a doctor's appointment and Gheilescia had an ultrasound. They wanted to take a look at the uterus, take a look at the lining of the uterus and things like that, and make sure that everything was good. And from there, we received message that we were a go for our transfer. So we did have our transfer Monday.
Yes, we did.
Of this week.
Of this week, yes. And today is the 4th, December the 4th. So
Did they know that we had the transfer?
Yes, because we told them. You made me tell them the last time,
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys know that. So we did actually drive down, had the transfer.
They don't know how the transfer went.
They do not.
That is what the situation is.
Yes, so let's talk about transfer.
Yeah.
Transfer day.
Yeah. So if I had a cowbell, I'd ring it. But
yeah, you don't have that.
I don't. Not right now.
And those are loud.
Yeah.
You don't. That's not it.
So let's talk about they knew that we had that we were going to have the transfer.
Talk about how that day looked.
Yeah. Talk about that.
Okay, so this is what happened. Went down on Sunday. That was a whole event by itself. Holiday traffic, car accidents, not us. And there was a fire on a mountain, Pilot Mountain, I think. Yeah,
so we went down. Our transfer was scheduled. It was scheduled the Monday following Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. So we went down to North Carolina on that Sunday, which is the Sunday that everybody's typically going back home, or returning from their Thanksgiving vacation and all. On our trip on the way down, it should have been about 2.5 hours.
Should have been.
Yeah, and it took us over 5 hours to make it. Like a spot that's here in West Virginia that normally takes us an hour to get to. It took us over 2 hours, about 2.5 hours to get there. But like Gheilescia said, we looked at once we finally made it across the North Carolina border, Pilot Mountain was on fire. Like last time we heard, it was about 300 acres were burned up.
So 300?
Yeah. Oh. It's over 300 acres.
Good Lord. Okay, so yeah, that's how that went. So we made it through that. That was eventful. Tried out a little eating spot down there. That was amazing. And then we went to sleep and woke up anxious. I woke up anxious.
So even before that, did we get the message of the time change the day before, or
there was a time change? So our it was pushed back. Yeah. It's only pushed back by like 2 hours though.
Right.
So we were supposed to have at 10. They said, hey, you guys are going to come in at 12 instead. And we're like, oh, okay, that sounds great. Whatever. So we woke up in the morning and we're like, it's like you wake up early, and keep in mind, so I'm still having to take these progesterone shots before 9 a.m.
Right.
So regardless, I still had to take that shot. While there was another shot on transfer day that I also had to take 1 hour prior to the actual transfer, along with a couple of pills. So waiting for those 2 or 3 hours of waiting, just like what to do. Soon as it hit 11 o'clock, Jonathan was like, babe, it's time. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You gotta do this. And I'm like, okay.
That's not the case.
That is the case.
That is not the case.
Why is it every time I say something, he disagrees with me?
I just want to be correct and accurate. You said
so. You're saying I'm incorrect and inaccurate.
What I'm saying is I love you, and I love you too much to let you be inaccurate.
Okay.
It wasn't 11 o'clock that I waited until. I was ready to go get everything taken care of before 11. Like it was like we're not going to get ready on time. We're going to get ready before time. So I was telling her, hey, like we need to get stuff prepped. Like we need to get stuff going. And it's like 10:55, 10:55. So forget 11 o'clock. That was too close to the clock for me.
Okay.
We had to be on time.
He was late 5 minutes earlier than what I originally stated.
There we go.
Does this make you feel better?
It does. It does. Okay, go ahead.
So that's when everything began. He gave me the shot, and in the other hip, can't be in the same hip. So he gave me the shot, and it didn't hurt. It was like a baby needle. It was like a needle that you would use, for instance, like the belly needles. Last time I showed you needles, I showed you the smaller one, the bigger gauge. It was the smaller gauge. So didn't even feel it. Moved on and did our things and got ready and prepped. I had to drink 24 ounces of water within so many minutes, quickly is what the paper said. So got the water drunk and took the medication, took the pill that they wanted me to take to calm me and relax me a half an hour prior.
Yeah.
I don't do well with medications, just FYI. So, we're packing up, walking around out the door, getting ready, because actually it's right around the corner from the hotel. And
yeah, once you get on the road outside of the hotel, there's 1, 2, there's 3 turns from the hotel to the facility. So very close.
So we get there and we're like, okay, well, we're gonna go straight back, we're ready, and they're like, hey, you got people in front of you.
So we went and sat out in the car. So we had to go in and kind of checked in a little. I guess it was considered a check-in, let them know that we were there. Yes, because they did ask for some information and all of that. Asked us to check over some paperwork and all of that or what have you. And then they asked us to return to our cars. My
mindset was, I just drank a bunch of water. I got to sit in the car with my bladder full.
Yeah.
I was a little concerned. But you know what? What I did was I psyched myself up. Let me tell you how I processed this, okay? And it worked for me.
Okay.
So it worked for me. What I did was I thought about those pink drinks from Starbucks that I normally get. Oh my gosh, you're so good. Could do one right now. And I usually get the venti size. The venti sizes are like 20 ounces. I was like, this is like me drinking a venti. Just no flavor. Just drink it. It's 4 more extra ounces. I can do this. So I did that, and I mentally thought of it like that, and so I was good. Like in the car, I wasn't ready to burst or anything. Anyway.
So that thought process, along with that, the happy medication that she had to take, I think helped her relax. Yeah, because she was just like, I'm feeling it now. I don't know if you can see my eyes, but she like, oh, I'm feeling it now.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I love you.
I love you too. I wasn't that bad. He's saying this because at one point I picked up the remote thinking it was my phone.
Yeah, like, okay. So
I don't do well with medication. So anyway, so we finally get a call back there. So it's really a simple procedure. It's not like as long as what the embryo being, the eggs being taken was. We went back there, I changed or whatever, and, they showed us a picture of the embryo. We told them we didn't want to know what the sex of it was. So they hid that portion, so we didn't know. And she was like, yeah, or the doctor, he was like, yeah, so as far as the grade of the embryo that they were transferring, or the embryo that they were transferring, it was like a grade 5 AA. And so we were like, yeah, 5A, hey, what's that mean? And he was just like, hey, that's really good. That's like the best quality that you can get with these. So we were like, great. So I was like, out of curiosity, I was curious about how our other eggs were, and what grade those were. And they were like, those are 5As. I'm like, oh, so they're not like double A. They're like just A, but we'll take it because that's still super amazing. So we only did one transfer. It took less than maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. So the procedure. And she said she, and then went to he, because we got that same information from the embryologist, which was a lady, and then we got the information also from our fertility doctor,
who's a guy.
So what he kind of talked us through it, and I tried to get video footage, and my phone apparently had run out of space, because I was too cheap to buy additional storage from Apple, which I did. So hopefully this video doesn't cut off on us. But he guided us through the process. He kind of talked us through what was going to take place, and we could actually see it. He utilized the ultrasound machine as he was going through the process. Did you want to talk about the process, or you want me to talk about it?
So the process was pretty simple. It was, I laid there, they made sure the egg was, perfected to whatever they had to do. And it was almost like, for ladies, you know what a pap smear is. So it was exactly like that. You lay there, they go, they do. It wasn't as, some pap smears aren't not enjoyable, that's weird to say, but they hurt a little bit. These aren't, it wasn't like, it's like the comfortable ones you have. That's exactly what this was. It was like having a pap smear, but instead of him sticking a Q-tip in to, get like, the samples and swabs of whatever, it was instead him sticking a baby in there.
Yeah, so obviously it's not like an infant that he's taking and just saying, "Oh, all right, there you go." That's a little weird. But they the way they done it, there's like this very, very thin catheter.
Yes.
That they were able to guide in, and on the ultrasound machine you could see it, and he talked us through, like, even in the process, and said, "Hey, this is where we want to put it." And you saw the catheter go in. He said, "All right, so when I transfer the embryo in, you'll see a little white dot, and that's baby."
And we were a little bit concerned because at first, with looking at my uterus prior, they were like, let's see what the doctor and how he feels. And then, I went on and they proceeded on whatever have you. And then when I got there and he got to look on the screen, he was like, "Oh yeah, that was perfect.
Oh yeah.
That's great. That is perfect right there." And it was so funny because I got asked this question like over and over and over. I got this question: "Hey, did you start your progesterone shots on time?" Yes. "Did you start them 4 days ago?" Yes. "Did you start them on time? Are you sure?" Yes. "Have you been consistent? Are you sure you start them?" Yes. So if you're going through IVF and you have to hit those progesterone shots 4 days prior to you getting your transfer, please make sure you start them on time. Yeah. At the right time, because they're going to ask about those.
Right.
So yeah. But after that, after they transferred, baby Harbison, that was it. Like, they told us in 7 days. Now I did have to lay there for like an additional like 10-15 minutes or whatever have you, and then afterwards I was allowed to get up and go to the restroom and stuff. I was totally scared. Okay, talk
about that. I was gonna because obviously it's not just you that has that.
I was totally scared that I was gonna pee the baby out. I was like, they just transferred this baby, and I'm gonna totally pee this baby out. And so I was like, oh my God! And I will not lie, I went to the restroom and turned around and tried to look to make sure I didn't pee nothing out. Not that I would have been able to see it, but I did. And I was paranoid for the first at least 2 days, like, with this, like, even with having to do a regular
like I was saying, the doctor did give some instructions as far as post-procedure instructions, and it was just like, take it easy, don't do too much.
No sex for 5 days.
Y'all pray for me. Yeah. So, and no lifting over 30 pounds for 5 days. Yeah. So, but though, pretty simple. And like I said, she didn't have much discomfort or anything like that afterward. So it wasn't much of an issue. So she has been walking around here like, oh, and I'm like, what's wrong, babe? Can you grab this bag? And it's like a bag of sugar.
He keeps saying that was 30 pounds. I seem to keep thinking that was 5 pounds.
It's like a box of sugar. And I'm like, what's wrong, babe? She was like, I'm pregnant. I'm like, listen, you like 2-3 days pregnant. What do you mean? She's totally joking as far as the strain. But anyway, I thought that was funny.
That's what he thinks.
I'm
pregnant.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah, of
I'm
course.
I'm gonna use this as much as I can. Like, oh, I can't do this. I'm pregnant. Oh, I can't get up and reach the remote control. I'm pregnant. Oh, I can't go. I can't do laundry. I'm pregnant.
Like the remote is right there.
I can't lift it. I'm pregnant.
So, but yeah.
Pray for him.
Yeah, please. But yeah, so that's where we are with that. So as far as what the situation is, like they've done the transfer. The transfer is still here in this region, and progesterone shots are still going, and they will continue to go months into the pregnancy, along with prenatals and the metformin that she's on as well. And maybe some other medications to just make everything work a little smoother.
Until about 13 weeks or so.
Yeah. So that's where we are with that. As far as the results. So, again, we're back.
iPhone problems.
Okay. So we were talking about results. So as far as the results are concerned.
Yes. So did you catch the Tuesday and Thursday thing on here?
No.
Okay. So are we good? Okay. So Tuesday and Thursday, that's the question. So we're gonna find out on Tuesday if HCG looks good. Lord have mercy. And if so, then Thursday we're going to test to make sure everything's doubling. Fun fact, technically I would be considered like 4 weeks on next Wednesday. I just thought that would be an interesting fact.
Yeah, that's a whole other process.
You're transferred and then a week later you're like 4 weeks. That's very cool.
Yes, because you
skip a whole process.
Skip some or whatever with the maturity of the embryo and things like that or whatever. So, which works.
That's kind of cool. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
So
let's get this show in a row before your phone says no again.
So this is taking place today.
Yes, because I want to play around.
Yeah. So so the nurse sent the message and asked if she was peeing on stuff yet, and I was trying to figure out like what in the world does she mean? Is she peeing on stuff yet? I thought she was referencing. The her being afraid to pee the embryo out. But clearly that's not what she was talking about. She was speaking about something else.
Yes.
So
we went and bought one, and so we're going to give it a whirl.
So there's actually 2 in here. So
them jokers are expensive.
And CVS had them on sale for buy one get one 50% off, and it was like I said, there's 2 in this box. So I don't know if like we should have gotten the additional one for 50% off, so that when we do this again, do pregnancy tests expire? I don't know.
Oh no, we'll take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Take a picture of it. We'll take a picture of it. But the weird thing is like years ago when I was first pregnant, like almost like 18 years ago or 17, something like that. I sound really old. How weird is that? Shut up. He called me a cougar. He called me a cougar at one of the appointments. And the nurse practitioner was like, no, he didn't.
No, that's not what she said. She said, he needs to die.
Yes. Yes.
So I will. One day it's going to be many, 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 many years from now, but I will. I promise. Unless I'm raptured.
A cougar. He's only like 2.5 years younger than me.
We had this discussion. I'm not going back into that.
2.5 years.
But the ultrasound, if you've heard of ultrasound before, then you know it kind of makes a noise. You know, it hears like heartbeat and stuff like that or whatever, and you typically think like boom 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 boom. No, it makes it sound like so
we're over the abdomen, so
yeah. So the nurse went to do the ultrasound and all, and you heard that noise. But then she moved it in a certain way, and it was like and I said, yeah, don't worry about that. It's just my wife. She's a cougar. So yeah, I told you I need
see what I go through.
But
He
yeah,
needs prayer.
so
See what I go through.
that is.
But back to what I was saying
What was you
before
saying?
he interrupted me, and I just happened to mention to you guys that he called me a cougar. Listen, so like when I was pregnant, like 20 years ago, 18 years ago, like no, it was like 17 years ago. Well, she's 17, so it'd be like 18. So 18 years ago, I did little pregnancy tests and stuff, and them things never showed me pregnant until I was at least like 3 months. Like, in all seriousness. So I would take them just for fun, knowing that it was, because I was just curious of, I wonder if this was going to show up. You know, I just randomly buy one, knowing I was already pregnant.
Spending money.
And, well, then they were cheaper.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, then they were cheaper. Like, I'm sure there's some cheaper ones we could have found, but they're expensive now. But yeah, I was just buying. So now I'm like, with this one, I'm probably not going to show, but who knows? Let's find out. So now I'm just
maybe
testing the waters.
Technology has advanced in 20 years.
It's possible.
Yeah. So
or they could have just changed the box and kept the same test.
That's possible too. That's possible too.
Upcharged.
So, yeah. So
We be throwing out a lot of brand names and stuff.
we didn't throw this brand name out
We
there.
put the box up there.
But I did it like this. I don't know if you've seen that, but that's strategic. But even though CVS is right there or whatever,
but then you said CVS.
But it's not CVS brand. This is.
We ain't getting no monies for anything. Just heads up.
Yeah. So, but.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that for fun. I think that's really all we got for you guys right now.
Next week.
We found out if it's a boy or a girl too, like 12 weeks or so. But we're gonna be on here before then because I'm gonna harass you guys.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week. The goal is next week after we do the blood test. We'll probably wait until after the Thursday blood test, unless we have a opening in our schedule to where we can record beforehand. And
I feel
we feel
like
like
everything's good though. Like I feel like I'm already pregnant with a pregnancy belly, and I feel like I can get up with my stomach like this, and
yeah. So if you don't have anything else, I'm gonna let these good kind people go.
Yeah, because I feel like the pregnancy feet swelling thing is happening now, so I need him to massage my feet.
Okay, I think you just rocked the camera.
Just a little bit.
Okay. See you guys later.
Bye, guys.